Hey family, it's Dr. Pyant, Mindset for Freedom. How are you? Yes, it's me. I'm so glad to be here with you this afternoon. I wanted to talk to you. First, let me apologize for the last video. You know, I'm getting used to doing this thing. You know, I'm not that good, but honey, my daughter said, Ma, that was a hot mess. I didn't even know. And when I look back at it, I was already posting it. So I didn't see that my blouse was loose over there. Child, I was like, oh my goodness. So, I was like, put the right shirt on today, make sure it's not gapping and what have you. So, listen, we all make mistakes. We all learning. We all in this journey together. But anyway, today I wanted to talk to you some more because, I'm talking to you more about emotions. We all have them because emotions are feelings, and we all have them. We all have feelings. Um, but when you have emotional blockages, those feelings that come across, they come across as anger, angry, bitter, sad, alone, vindictive. Those show that there's some type of blockage in your body's chemistry, for lack of better words, in your body's chemistry that's not allowing your frontal lobe to get that information through to you to process what is actually going on now with mental clarity. Does that make sense? So, me being a doctor and me studying the mind, the brain, and having experience with using cognitive behavior therapy, and now being a coach. So, I'm not offering you therapy unless you want it. I'm just saying. This that I am bringing to you is more from a coaching perspective, which I am giving you an outline to help you. That's the difference. I don't know if you know it or not, but I had to learn it myself. Anyway, the coaching perspective is an outline that outlines a specific area of concern. And then I break it down with the overview as to what is going on in this area and how you can transform your life by following these steps. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So it's an outline and an overview of the difference between emotional blockages and trauma. So I wanted to share with you that there is a difference, but there's not a difference. You know what I mean? Like there is a difference because emotional blockages can come just from you having unresolved issues in a certain area, but that might not have happened in a reoccurring type of way. But whereas trauma, it's happening the same types of situation that are linking together or firing together. So you still are going to have emotional blockages if you have unresolved childhood traumas. You have to rewrite that story, family. You have to see things from a different perception. Because I spoke with you before when I first started doing my videos and the Lord downloaded to me. So, what is your focus? What do you believe in? What do you bring to the table? What are you talking to people about? I said, well, what I know that changes, that hinders you, that becomes complex are your thoughts, your perception, and your beliefs. And I stand on that because it's the same thing. As a man thinketh, so is he. So your thoughts need to change, but it's the story of the thoughts that need to change. And we can rewrite, we have to. You have to rewrite the story. You don't have to go back into the past and dig it up, so to speak. Because, like I said, this is not therapy, this is coaching. But what does your story told you? It told you that you were unwanted. It told you that you weren't good enough. It told you that you were taken advantage of. Any of the above and then some. Rewrite that because you are good enough. Yes, things happened, but the truth is, what are you now? What is your desire? What is your goal? What do you feel? I am good enough. I am loved. I am wanted. I can love me. I can love me. But this comes from building that inner man, that inner conviction, where that no matter what happens, the rain might come in your life, drama, 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 drama. The storms might come in your life, broken relationships, it trauma again. Storms that are coming in your life. Things just seem like they're falling apart. They're falling apart. One relationship after another, whatever that relationship might be. It might be a working relationship. It might be a relationship with your children. It might be a relationship with yourself. But that's trauma. There's a blockage there. We need to solidify. I like that word. We need to solidify to bring that flow into harmony with what's happening here in your inner man and what's happening here, because everything is connected. Everything is connected. And sometimes when things happen, a lot of time we have a disconnect, and it's because of the amygdala. The amygdala is the survival brain: fight, flight, or freeze. And that amygdala is going to fire up to save you. It did to save me. I was in freeze mode in my heart for many, many years. It happened when I was a little girl. When I went into freeze mode, when we went into a shelter, and my mom was given this woolen hat by this lady, long story in short. And we put these woolen hats on, my sister and I, because she said the mattresses were dirty and she didn't want us to get any kind of infection or disease and what have you. Now, already I had experienced the trauma of us being evicted. So I already felt unsafe because everything that we had was taken from us. But I didn't know that mom was the provider. You see, my perception now is that I know now that mom was always there and that she was always taking care of us. But at 6 years old, everything was gone. Our life was turned upside down and we had nothing. We had no home. I had no toys. We had no bed. We had nothing. And then we went to the shelter. And the shelter was different. This is in my book. When I go into the deep dives of what happened, how the onset of trauma and emotional blockages. So I didn't feel safe. And then when I put that hat on, within a week, my hair started breaking off. And it took many, many years for it to grow back. I don't know why. It could have been a path that I had to take, that I had to deal with in life. But I got teased and older as I got older. But going back to being 7, let me tell you where my heart, can you figure it out? I was 7 years old. We had already gotten put out. Now we went to a shelter, follow my trauma, and look for my blockages. We went to a shelter, which was a dark room because it was a hotel. That's what they had back in that day. It was dark on the elevator. It was dark in the apartment. There was just one mattress there on the floor. But mom said, this is our new home. Then I got the hat, put on the hat, and within weeks, my hair, which was long and beautiful, natural hair as a child. Mom used to put bows in it, and my sister and I, that was the cutie thing. But it fell out. And I began to perceive that people were going to laugh at me because I wasn't cute. I wasn't pretty. I didn't have long hair anymore. So that pain sunk in. And I closed myself off. Look, fight, flight, or freeze. Where was I? What happened? What did the amygdala kick in? Freeze. I went into freeze mode because I separated myself from people. So this way, I didn't have to hear them say anything about me. I sat in the back of the room. I stayed quiet. I didn't make friends. And this went on for years. You see how the amygdala works? Because of my perception that they were going to make fun of me. Do you know that they probably never were? Because nobody ever did. I just figured that they would. So because was in that mode, I closed off my heart chakra. I learned that later. And that began the pattern of emotional blockages. Does any of these patterns feel real to you? Maybe you had an experience very similar where things happened in your life and then something else happened, it compounded. I was able to undo the layers of the bricks and go within to understand and rewrite the story. But you know, the story didn't end there because I'm 70 something now. That story didn't get rewritten because I didn't know how. So I lived that way for years, just being okay. It's not enough to be okay. You want to be your best self. You want to live your best life. You want to engage. You don't want to be detached, and you don't need to settle. So live your best life. Keep saying your affirmations. I have a few for you today. Where did I put them? So I have a few for you today. So remember I said to you, I asked you, and I'm not going to make this long because it's already 11 minutes. I just want to drop something for you because I want you to have another little practice, okay? Are you constantly growing and evolving? Not if you are being led by the amygdala, you're not, because you're always in fight, flight, or freeze. The only way that you can grow is that we have to rewire, to reset the computer that's going on up here that's keeping this from connecting to here. You need to have a constant flow. You need to have a coherence of heart and mind. Otherwise, your mind, which is mainly run by your ego and your fears from here, will be in charge. So we want to be able to constantly grow and embrace self improvement. I want you to embrace self improvement. I'm ready to embrace it with you if you're ready for a transformation. So keep listening to my videos. And if you want to leave me a comment, do so. I appreciate all of the love that you guys are sending me. I see the love, I see the hearts, I see the likes, I see the shares. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But when you're ready for transformation, I'm your coach. I am the transformational coach that will show you how to unleash emotional blockages to have inner peace, blockages that have been set from childhood. Let's rewrite your story together. I am Dr. Bryant, Mindset for Freedom. Thank you again for listening.